countdown.
Sure. Hang on. I need to actually go to new game. All right, I'm ready. All right. So hello, I'm Mrzwanzig. This is Catherine. This game has a lot of story. We're going to skip all of it. I'll probably talk about it a little bit because it does inform some of the stages. All right. So if you haven't played this game before, you're probably about to be a little confused. If you have played the game before, then you're about to be really confused. Because I'm just going to not do the first stage. All right, so you're supposed to climb these block towers. That's the main gameplay aspect of the game. But instead, you can just do this. So the stage collapses from under you. So eventually, this is going to kill me. But the stage, the rest of the stage is actually falling onto me as I wait here. So we're just going to stand here a while. Try to pull the block in time with the music. Sure. Da, da, da. All right, I didn't mess that up. Great. I do have a habit of doing that at home. Thank you. Very generous. It's very easy.
You can do it over if you do it too late. Just
yeah.
undo.
This game does have an undo button, luckily. Unless you're playing on hard mode, which I'm not.
Or if you're playing the Japanese version on normal.
Oh, right, yeah. Apparently, we needed an undo button. All right, so just don't worry. I'm not going to do that for every stage. In fact, I'm only going to do it 3 times in the entire game. So if you thought that was really boring, me just standing there and waiting, it's in a lot of cases, it's not even faster to do that. Well, in most cases, otherwise I would. I'll explain more about it later when I do it again. As for right now, we're now in the bar. This is where Vincent, the main character, goes every night to get pissed with his friends, although there are no friends today. He's by himself. And this is the longest we are ever going to spend here, because I have to mash through all this dialogue. Every other night, I'm just going to, as soon as it gives me control here, get up and leave. Because I don't care about the story. I mean, it's nice. The story is kind of nice. I enjoyed it the first time. Doesn't help you go fast.
The thing is, there's a mechanic in the game where you can drink at the bar and it makes you move faster, but it takes so much time up that it's not actually faster in the run. So we're never gonna do that.
Yeah, because Vincent, like, even his little cocktail, he can only drink it in 3 sips. He sucks at chugging. So he has to, like, pick up his glass, put it to his mouth, put it down, ruminate on his life. He does this every time you take a sip. And then when you finish a drink, the waitress comes and asks if you want another, and it just takes forever. But it does make you move faster in the nightmares, so you should do it if you're playing this game casually. Alright, so part of the reason that stage push in the first level is actually faster is because the game's giving me tutorial pop-ups right now. It would have done that in the first stage if I had actually been climbing up the tower.
Alright, I got it.
So, and these tutorial messages bug the hell out of me every single run because it keeps making me have to change my grip on my controller in order to skip them. Because I have to mash through all the text. There's another one here, of course. Da-da-da. I keep forgetting where they are as well, it's great.
Good thing is though, there's like not a lot of tutorials left on which stages.
No, it's the next stage has them, and then we're done with them. All right. Now we get to these landings, which, much like the bar, I will be spending as little time in as possible. Although they do have one helpful aspect later on, which we'll get to.
Not bad.
And also, I'm going to get moral questions by the game now. It's going to ask me all kinds of things about my life and love and sex and other things. And it's going to be hell enjoyable for you guys to judge my choices, but just a heads up, I'm just picking the right option for every question because I'm not actually reading them. Although I know what this one is, because this one's always the same. But the other questions are random. I don't actually agree with what I just said. I agree with neither choice. I think they're both horribly cynical. But I just picked the right for everything.
There's some really hilarious questions that are
Oh yeah.
a bit odd.
Like you're completely free to judge me on my life choices. Just know that I'm actually just randomly picking.
These questions are a bit RNG. As you see, like the pie chart takes forever to fill up for some questions, so
Yeah.
you can
This-
lose a second there.
This game actually has pie chart RNG. It's great. Some more tutorials. Something else. So you might be able to tell, or you might not. But the stages are basically all the same. So I know where I'm going. The main issue with going fast in this game is just doing the movements as optimally as possible, which is actually harder than I initially thought it was. When I started running this game, I didn't know this, but whenever you... Hang on, I'll point it out here. Like, if I pull this block and then hang, then I have to actually time my next input to go as fast as possible. If you're just buffering the input beforehand, then you'll actually move slower than if you time it right. And the world record holder for this game, Isuyaru, whose name I'm probably going to be dropping about 15 times, if not more, during this run, is really good at that. And just really good at this game in general. Shoutouts to him.
You survived. Impressive.
I don't think I've introduced the lovely people next to me, so this is Nevietz. He used to run this game like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Sounds about
times.
right.
And this is Noctis, who hasn't run this game. Alright, cutscenes.
I played it casually, so
You have.
yeah. But that's 5 years ago, so
This game is old.
we're all...
Prefer an older or a younger partner? Apparently I prefer younger. In case you're wondering, I don't really care which ending I get. Although I pretty much always get the true freedom ending, because my meter's always going to be near the middle. And I like the freedom endings, they're pretty good. You get to go into space if you get the true freedom ending. Which I will... I would show you the final scene where he goes in space. But since we have a donation incentive, I don't believe it's been met yet, but it'll be running through this run, which is to well, attempt at least to beat the obelisk stage in Babel in singles, which is incredibly hard. I'll talk more about it after this, but right now we have a boss, and doing good movement here, like I was saying earlier, is actually pretty important, because if you go fast enough, she won't do an attack, which just wastes a couple seconds because you can't move while she's doing it. And then you've also got these power-ups. They help with various things. This one just gives me extra block. Alright, if she doesn't do an attack here, then we're good. Alright. Great. So the bosses in this game get pretty interesting. The first one is just a couple of hands with a fork. It's a representation of his somewhat controlling girlfriend. That's the great thing about this, about the bosses. They're all like somewhat story relevant. They represent Vincent's doubts and fears in his life. So they're pretty much the only aspect of the story we're going to see. And the next boss will be quite interesting. I'll try to like pan down to the bosses at the start, because you're not going to see them for the most part, just because I'm going too fast.
you want to explain a bit about the story.
Well, you just saw Kappa Heaven, so that's important, right?
Yes.
It's the sushi bar that he goes to with his friend. But so Vincent is in a relationship with his girlfriend Catherine, and then one night he meets another girl also called Catherine, but with a C. And then he wakes up, which just happened, and she's in his bed. And then he proceeds to make a lot of weird facial expressions and make a lot of excuses for the rest of the game. That's pretty much the story. All right, so we're in the bar again. Like I said, I'm just going to get up and leave. My friends don't question this. She does.
She does because she knows you're always drinking there.
Yeah, she wants my money, basically. All right, and we're going to go into the next night. There's 9 of these in total. They tend to get progressively longer for the most part. And most of the nights, they pretty much, each stage introduces another type of block. So this one will be trap blocks, which if you stop on top of them, they kill you. There's a lot of instant kill stuff in this game. Hopefully I shouldn't die in this run. I mean, basically trap blocks, like as long as you just keep moving and don't like pull something or whatever while you're standing on top of one, you're fine. And they only activate once. Also, the other sheep, which are other people trapped in this nightmare, they're really terrible at trap blocks. So you're going to see them dying a lot in the stage. Just all over the place. I'm also going to be like moving the camera a bit here, just to reduce some lag that pops up here. Rip that guy. I would be scared if I was him. Alright.
I mean, technically he's streaming, so maybe he's not that scared.
I think he does realize he's dreaming, because every time he wakes up in this nightmare, he's like, oh god, this dream again? But then he doesn't seem to remember them when he wakes up, so I don't know. It's weird. This game's story is quite weird, if you haven't been able to tell yet. Wow, that's a terrible answer. I should just pick all the left ones, because usually the right ones are the ones I disagree with, but I've grown so used to it now.
Just mix it up.
Just mix it up.
The thing with the questions is it kind of influences what ending you get. Like you see a meter with red and blue, and it represents the 2 Catherines. So depending on where your meter is, you either get freedom ending, Catherine with a C ending, or Catherine with a K ending.
As well as the questions that you answer in the final level.
Yeah, that too.
The sheep is going to try to punch me down. I'm just going to go up, and it still somehow hits me down to where I actually want to be. Kind of weird that way. Some more lag here. There we go. Alright, I was going to talk about Obelisk at some point, wasn't I? I'll do that right now, as soon as I figure... Damn it. I didn't turn around. I put that in the wrong place. There. Oops. That's why we have undo. Don't clap, that was terrible. Clap when I do something right, please. Okay, So Obelisk, which is the incentive you can still donate for. So the Babel stages are the extra stages in this game, and they're quite difficult. If you watched SGDQ, you watched Ghoul do the 2-player versions of those levels by himself, and it was great. It was a great run. You should, after ESA is over, go back and watch that if you haven't already. The single-player stages are generally a bit more difficult, all in all, than doing it with pairs, because it's... Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh god, I feel the judgment from behind me. But obviously I only have to deal with doing one of them. Or, yeah, doing one controller. I'm going to be doing the hardest one that isn't bugged, because the last one is bugged in single player, which is why nobody does single player Catherine Babel runs. I mean, also just because it's really hard, but I'm sure somebody would be stupid enough to do it. You can do it on the Japanese version, because for some reason it's not bugged on Japanese. Anyway, I should point down the camera here to just... Oh. And also keep climbing the stage properly. But yeah, this is the Bud Monster. Okay, I completely screwed up the stage doing that, so I hope you enjoyed watching that, because it's completely messed me up now. Now I got hit by the hearts. Alright. Let's hope I don't die. What am I even doing at this point? Okay, it wore off. We're in full improv mode now. I'm just gonna wait for this. Alright, don't do what I did, kids. Normally, I know exactly when these things are gonna hit and make sure that they don't hit me, but now I kind of have to wait everywhere, because everything's completely off. Alright, I didn't get hit. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. It's fine. I didn't die. That's the important thing. Sure. Okay. So I was gonna talk about why that is a Bud Monster, but then I kind of had to actually focus on doing the stage since I completely messed up. But so there's a Bud Monster because Vincent is feeling guilty about sleeping with the other Catherine. That's the reasoning. There you go.
It's represented by a butt. Just because.
Scary music. It's never this loud for me normally at home.
How did you get into running this game?
How did I get into running this game? Well, funny thing, this is the first game that I ever ran, although it's certainly not the game that I first streamed me running. Because I ran this in like early 2013, because it's when I first got into speedrunning, and I was like, let's try this. This looks like a fun and easy run to speedrun. And I was just doing runs offline. And for some reason, my PS3 was really slow, and I was losing time on loads. So I just kind of quit at one point. And then, like a year later, I started doing FF9 runs. And that's what I became more known for, is doing Final Fantasy speedruns. And then somewhere in, when was this? Like November, October or something of last year, I was like, let's do Catherine, actually. I was doing an exam at university, and during this exam I suddenly got the idea, hey, I should do Catherine again. And I started thinking about that instead of doing the exam. It was great. I think I did pass, probably.
Tonight's stage
At
is
least
the Inquisition,
that's the good news.
where one is tried based on the weight of his sins.
Alright, next stage. The Inquisition. This one only has 2 stages, unlike the previous 2, which had 3. I don't know why, but it's that way, so hey. And we're going to do another stage push here, so that's fun.
It's also one of the shortest stages now.
This is incredibly short now because of the stage push, because you skip everything really fast. So you go down here. For some reason, there's a section down here with spring blocks. These are also new. They just spring you up 5 steps. Also, Not like this.
Not like this.
These are my favorite sheep in the game because they scream that whenever they go down. And because you collapse the entire stage here, you get to hear it a lot. Alright, just wait for this. Dust cloud to disappear, get on, and level's done. Alright. So the reason we don't do that everywhere, there's various reasons. For one, there needs to be a convenient way to actually collapse the stage entirely and have it still be faster than just climbing it normally, which is surprisingly not that often the case. And then there's also a couple levels where for some reason the game hugely lags out. We had some real fun with this in practice. You go to like 0.3 FPS. It's great.
Roughly, yeah. Also, one thing to mention about the stage push is that, funnily enough, it was initially found by the fighting game community. There used to be competitive Catherine back in the day. And at some point, a friend of mine named Zoning, he pointed that out when I was running the game. He told me that they had some secret tech named like stage push. So after that, I spent like 16 hours trying all of these stage pushes. And that's how they ended up in the run.
Yep.
Goes all the way back to like, way back, 2012, 2013.
Yeah, this game has a fighting game community. It's quite great. This has actually been a great month for Catherine because we had the Babel one-player, two-controller run at SGDQ, and then I should have pulled the left one, but it's fine. Then this game was at EVO, and they had a great tournament. I watched some of the finals. It was pretty fun. And now we have this. So we got to showcase all the aspects of this game in just 1 month. All right. Normally I shouldn't have to wait for that, but we're good. This is the child. If you can't guess, Vincent's wife, or not his wife, his girlfriend has told him that she thinks she's pregnant. So that's why there's now a baby chasing me. I went out of my way there to get an energy drink. Totally worth it. You'll see why. This is the most broken power-up in the game. Also, this boss never shuts up, and it really likes to lag the stage. If you can't tell, I can definitely tell while playing because it makes it really hard to do good movements. Let's wait for that. All right.
Also, if you get hit by it, you fall off a few blocks.
Yeah, it doesn't insta-kill you yet. We're getting insta-kills soon from the bosses, but not yet. Alright, so energy drink. Makes you climb 2 steps. Probably pretty easy to see why this is broken. The final part of the stage, it splits into these 2 towers that are only 2 blocks wide. And it takes a while to do normally, because you have to cross over to the other one. And it's just lengthy, but you just do that, and bam. So we're going to be getting the energy pretty much whenever we can in stages, and sometimes we can buy it in between stages, as you will see coming up relatively soon.
Congratulations.
A few exceptions, like there were like 2 energy drinks in the previous levels that you never picked up because they're way too far out of the way.
But yeah, in general, there's a bunch of power-ups that are pretty useful, like the blocks that you can skip puzzles with.
Also, we don't have the little flashy thingy up, but if there are any donations, by all means read them.
There are no donations as
okay.
of this moment, but we will love to remind you that the incentive for the Babel Obelisk attempt at the end of this run is still open, and we still need those $300 immediate. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to get those donations in.
If we don't do it, then we get to be more on schedule, which is also fun. But I would like to do it. It's pretty fun. And it's very hard. All right. Time for the 5th stage. The previous stage didn't really introduce any new blocks. I guess you had the spring blocks, which were only like down there, and you don't normally go there. But this one will have ice blocks in abundance. Most of the stage is ice blocks. And with ice blocks comes ice physics. And ice physics in this game are quite unforgiving. Whenever you step on an ice block, basically, it just slides you across the stage until you hit something that's not an ice block or you fall. So any misstep here pretty much can very easily kill you. Also, pop quiz. This level's called the quadrangle. Either of you know what is a quadrangle? Nothing?
Are you asking us?
Yeah. What is a quadrangle? Because I didn't know. I had to look it up specifically for this.
I have no idea.
I'd imagine it's a square triangle or something.
A square triangle?
I
What
mean,
did you just say?
It has to have 4 sides, right? Because it's a quad.
Sure. But how would it be a triangle if it was square?
I mean, there's triangles with 90 degrees angles each if you throw it on a sphere.
Oh wow, we're getting really mathematical in here right now. All right, no, it's not that. It's basically it's like a courtyard that's surrounded by buildings on 4 sides. If you watch Harry Potter, they've got a lot of quadrangles in Hogwarts. That's basically what I always go to in my mind. All right, so that's the trivia out of the way for today. I like the end of this level. Like you just push this, and everything falls neatly in place to climb. Easy.
Chat is saying it's apparently from quad like a uni. Or something.
They probably have it at universities. I don't know if mine has one.
I know mine hasn't one.
Just watch Harry Potter. That's the main takeaway of this.
I watched it. I don't remember it.
All right, so there's a merchant sheep here at the right, and right now he's stocking an energy drink, so we're gonna get that. First time talking to him takes a while, but every time after this, it'll be slower. Obviously, because he introduces himself and whatnot. It's more than worth it. Oh, hey, one I actually agree with. All right.
Good pie chart.
Yeah. So like the pie charts, they fill in like this. So if it's like a 50-50 split, it's usually pretty fast. Because they'll just meet at the same time. And otherwise one of the sides has to go all the way around and then slower. So that's pie chart RNG right there.
I'm hoping for one specific question to pop up.
All right, yeah, she's waiting for it. Like I said, the questions are random, so you won't always get the same ones. Not like this. See, that right there, that was bad movement. That was me trying to go too early. You might not be able to tell the difference, but I can definitely tell when I'm going fast and when I'm going slow. Also, this is my favorite sheep in the game. Alright, there he goes. Like, a lot of the sheep here die just because they're bad at ice blocks, but that guy literally just lets himself go. Alright, and there's a couple more here that we're going to actually push off because they're in the way, and they would push us otherwise. That's not good. Alright, once again, energy drink is OP. If they fall down in dreams, they die in real life. Yeah, that's basically the gist of the story.
It was a sight to see.
Like if you game over, you actually get a rather creepy game over screen where Vincent is dead in his bed. If I game over, though, something has gone horribly wrong, because I have 19 lives right now. Alright, I'm going quite far to the left right now. I want my True Freedom ending. So, next stage, we're at the boss. Once again, it's basically our girlfriend again. Who wants to marry us real bad. But Vincent is afraid of commitments, so this is the Doom's Bride, and it's probably my least favorite boss, because this is where the bosses start to be kind of random. And you'll see why.
You could always go for the slower strat and just stage push.
Oh, right, yeah, you can actually stage push this. It's quite funny. But it's slower, so no.
Yeah. It's partially related to how the boss AI works. As you can see on the bottom, you see the red blocks. If a boss gets close to you and you're standing on that row, it will try to attack you. If you move up a step, you will not
get hit.
die. Yeah. But then you can just walk down and the boss will never move. And that is basically the reason why you
what
can
am I
stage
doing?
push this.
So where these avalanches fall is random, and I'm really bad at reacting to them a lot of the time. All right. Oh god, it's gonna do this now. So these can actually kill you. If this hits you, you die. These blocks that she's throwing around now. More avalanche. Wait for this. All right, we're almost at the end. Don't kill me now. All right. That's. I didn't even lose my block from it. What am I doing now? This is awkward. It lost. It pulled out the block I needed. All right. We got this. Wow. Of all the blocks you could have pulled out.
Nice save.
I was in the animation of using the block, and then it didn't. I was so confused. For a second I thought, wait, did it just steal my block? But no, I dig to keep it. So okay, that works.
And this is why this boss is horrible.
The quadrangle ends
Amongst
here.
other RNG.
If you have a really slow start, it tends to happen where she just for some reason stops attacking, and then just like tries to chase you up the tower without actually doing any attacks, which is great if it happens. But it seems that it seems to only happen when your start is really slow and you keep having to wait for the avalanches. So it's not necessarily a great thing. Isuyaru actually worked out a strat where that happens consistently, but it's slower. Which I suppose is probably why it works.
If you have any donations, you can read them right now.
Yeah, pretty much whenever we're in between nights, you can do it if there are any.
Yeah, I have my donation lamp blinking a long time now, but apparently you can see it from over there.
No, I don't know where it is,
Yeah,
actually.
it's over to your right. But yeah, I got some donations here for you. So we got a $10 donation from Anonymous with no comment, followed by a $5 donation from Pete, also with no comment. And then we received a $50 donation from Anonymous. Great event so far. Hope this had more visibility, like GDQ. Let's go for Babel Obelisk.
All right. Okay, stage number 6, Clock Tower. Here we go. This is where the stages start to get kind of long, because we're a good half hour in, should be anyway. And we've done 5 out of 9 stages. But the run, don't worry, it will be like an hour and a half. Well, under. Should be, hopefully. Anyway. But this one has 4 stages, and most of them are pretty long.
Do you want to talk about the new strats they recently found with some of the stages?
There's been lots of them. I mean, Isuyaru has been on a roll, like, getting new strats. Just most of them save like a second here or there, because this game is pretty optimized at this point. But he's just been finding slight new optimizations all over the place, and some big ones, mostly in. Well, this one has been having a lot of small ones, and then the spiral stairway, which is the next Knight has been getting some big ones. Talk about that when we get there. Anyway, this stage has bomb blocks. They explode when you step on them after a while. But the time between it is long enough that pretty much you're far past it by that time. And since these stages are pretty, you have a pretty good foundation to work with usually, so even though they do make the blocks around them all cracked blocks, it usually isn't. Oh dear. That's a weird thing that sometimes happens, and I wasn't ready for it. It's actually better if I was ready for it. What was I talking about? Right. Yeah, the bomb blocks usually aren't an issue. That's basically what I was saying.
At least not in the stage.
Oh, they will be if we do Obelisk. Believe me, I will rage about bomb blocks. So there's another energy drink up here if the sheep hasn't drank it. It didn't. Okay, good. Sometimes there's just a sheep standing there, and it seems to be completely random whether it is, and then the energy drink won't be there. There's a backup in case that happens, it's fine. But I prefer this, obviously. This energy drink. It's great. Oh god, I went too early. If you go onto it too early, and I'll try to climb 2 blocks and then fall down. It's great.
The dexterity is impressive and entertaining.
All right, if you have a donation, by all means.
Alright, we have another $50 donation from Effort33. Good luck, Mrzwanzig. Happy birthday for the other day. Sorry I missed it. Mrzwanzig, not proud.
I don't know who that was, but thank you.
Also, we have a $10 donation from Kelas_FR. I wish I could donate more. Anyway, good luck, Mrzwanzig, and make the FF community proud again. We are silently and judging you, hollow face.
It was Elford. With the
Oh,
first
okay, sorry. I just didn't catch the name. Thank you, Adam. All right, bought a block here. It saves like a second, I think, to do that. This is a fun stage. I like this one. Most of the clock tower stages are pretty good.
I hate them.
Really?
Why do you like them?
I don't know. They've got good strats.
They're better than Imperio, in my opinion.
Well, everything's
Well,
better
yeah,
than Imperio.
exactly.
We'll get to that. We used to have a much more convoluted strat for this, but really, the fastest way is just to build a staircase. I don't know why we didn't do this to begin with. And then here, I'm just going to get on this as fast as possible so that it blows up. We need it to basically blow up to get this thing down. Springs. This level is lots of springs. Get to spring, use spring.
Some sheep in this are just very stupid.
I don't even, yeah, where are they all coming from? Because the stage isn't even loaded up there yet. I don't usually pay attention to that. Alright, push this. This is where we use the block. Great. And then up here, oh no, there's still this part. Hang on. And then up here, there's another energy drink. And you're damn right we're gonna get that.
A little more. How's this?
And up and up. This would take much longer if I didn't have this. Alright. Next one, we're going to buy another energy drink from the merchant sheep, and this one has a little bit of a tight strat. That is to say, if I go slow at all, the energy drink will run out when I still need it.
Seems you
But it should be
have
fine.
potential. Good.
I don't usually fail it. Also, so about the whole edge thing, right? So it keeps saying edge, and apparently a lot of people get annoyed by this. I don't hear it. It doesn't sound like words to me. I just hear like a random sound effect whenever something snaps. I don't hear the word edge, even though I know it's being said. I don't know why. It's always been that way for me. Which is probably why I can tolerate speedrunning this game. What did I say there?
You said you don't mind the edge sound.
No, I mean, what did I say to the question?
No, you said no.
Okay.
If embarrassed ever turned you on, you said no.
All right. So we're gonna actually not grab this book because it would replace our energy drink. That would be bad.
Use this.
And basically, I can't make any kind of movement mistakes now until this runs out. Should be fine. Go down here, and then right now it'll run out just as I climb up there. Okay, good. Got there. Rest of the stage isn't too bad. So basically, this stage has some puzzles that kind of require you to use that technique, which the game calls the spider. Just climb around stuff, basically. This ant is weird. If you do like undos or you're like retrying the stage, a lot of the time you'll go slower for some reason.
I got it.
And then you have to wait for him. It's terrible.
I got it.
Also, this puzzle got everyone stuck on their first playthrough. Don't deny it. It did.
There was also like, you did it differently.
Yeah, there was a new strat there. That puzzle is going to pop up again later because, I don't know, they forgot they already used it, I suppose. But the other time we can't do the new strat because it's the only difference is the heavy blocks are unmovable blocks. So you can't do the thing where you push out the right side. And this is like 1 or 2 seconds faster, I think.
Reach the top once again. You're quite tenacious.
If you have a donation, go ahead.
Alright, we have a $5 donation from PMA04SMB. Great to see Catering being speedrun. Definitely want to see Babel Obelisk being done. I only ever managed about level 120 on Babel. We also got a $1 donation from Revenues. Let's make Mrzwanzig rage on the obelisk. Good luck, Mrzwanzig. Mrzwanzig not proud.
Oh gosh. Because I only decided about like 2 days before I went to ESA, I think, that I was going to do this. 2 or 3 days. And I started practicing it. And the first night I did it, I practiced it for about 4 hours and cleared it once. And then I was pretty much already giving up on it. And then the next night I was actually getting a good success rate. So I was like, let's just do it. It'll be fun. Even if I fail, it'll be fun.
It sounded quite funny like this.
Oh yeah, she was with me on Discord and listening to me rage. All right, so there's another boss here. It's a child with chainsaw. You can see it right there. It's quite creepy. I'm not going to talk about what it means story-wise because I actually need to focus here a bit. Because there is a fast strat you can get here if you go fast enough on this part of the stage. Then you can get a part of the stage to spawn before he does his attack, and that'll save a fair bit of time. Let's see. I don't think I'm getting it. Just a little bit late. The next part would have spawned if I went fast enough. Now we have to kind of sit around here just waiting for the stage to spawn in.
So story-wise, this is kind of his girlfriend. Like some guy calls him and tells him, "Hands off my Catherine," and he doesn't know which Catherine that guy means. So he's scared that the baby in his girlfriend that she's like apparently pregnant with might be not his. So this child is pretty much an abomination to him.
I mean, that's he doesn't explicitly say that, but that's the only way it kind of makes sense for the baby to be the boss here, for it to be this creepy. So it's the explanation I've got for that. Also, these things, if it's not obvious, the saws insta-kill you. Alright. Oh god. I didn't mean for them to land there, but it's fine. Okay. We're good. We're good. I don't like this being on this level, though. Need to be kind of careful here.
Could always just undo spam.
You could, but that'd be slow.
I'm almost there. Got it.
Alright.
I guess it depends on how much you have to wait because they're there.
Yeah, well. Undoing is actually quite OP on bosses because it'll basically reset anything they're doing. To make up for it, they'll usually, as soon as you undo, they'll immediately do an attack. But it gets rid of like anything that's currently out. So kind of like undo scumming is a pretty common strat for casual players. That used to be one of the hardest bosses for me. It's not really anymore. Really, the hard part is getting that early block spawn, which I didn't, unfortunately. All right. So that's a fairly intense boss. The next stage is a bit of a break, a little bit more, because it's I mean, this is a puzzle game, but the next stage is really a puzzle stage in the sense that... Oh, okay. Skipping cutscenes is hard sometimes. In the sense that your options are kind of a little bit limited because there's a lot of unmovable blocks, so the puzzles pretty much like have a worked out solution that it wants you to do, and a lot of the time we will be doing that solution, but there are some creative liberties we can take to make stuff a little bit faster. There's been lots of rerouting on this stage as well lately, particularly with the boss. We'll get to that when we get to it. There's no cutscene here, is there? No. There's usually a cutscene where he's like passing out drunk every night. He's got a healthy lifestyle.
The spiral corridor is our locale tonight. It's a holy passage to the cathedral.
He's not really a good boyfriend, I'd say. Scared of commitment, drinking every night.
Alright. So this stage is pretty much here to teach you how to deal with having rather like thin towers, and it wants you to kind of like zigzag across a lot. There's several sections to this, and they're all slightly different, and when I was new to this run, it was really hard for me to keep just like in my head exactly what to do for each one, because they're all just slightly different, so the strats vary, but they look a lot similar. I'm fine with it now.
Right, I got it. Right, I got it. Right, I got it.
Also, we haven't really shouted out the music in this game too much, but most of the stage music is remixed classical music. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I particularly like the stage 5 theme. The final boss theme is good. Some some good stuff in here. This one's nice, I guess. And then this part, it wants you to do what the game calls Inazuma. I prefer to just call it zigzag, because that's what it is. But instead, we're actually going to push part of it off. This is a fairly new strat that saves, like, I don't know, a very small amount of time, but it's swag. Like, this is a very basic zigzag strat that you can do there to get up, but this is much more fun.
Alright, I got it.
And apparently slightly faster. Yasuyaru tells me it's faster. I believe him. He's good at this game. I timed it and it seemed to be basically the same, but... Alright. Gotta buy another item here.
As I expected, you survived. I knew you wouldn't die here.
The cool thing about items is, even if you don't use them in a stage, they will stay the next stage. So you can pick up like a book or something in one stage and use it the next one.
The only unfortunate thing is that they don't stay over the night. So
Yeah.
if you're on a boss stage, you better use your item, because you will lose it otherwise.
We're actually gonna make use of the carryover property pretty soon. You can go ahead and read the donation.
Alright, we have a $20 donation from Retroid92. ESA has been an incredible event. Congratulations to all the runners. Shoutouts to the Final Fantasy community. Good luck with the rest of the run. And of course, Mrzwanzig not proud.
If you're wondering what that's about, I was during last year's ESA, I made a not proud face, and it's an emote now. It's great. It's my favorite emote because I get so much mileage out of it.
Time to use this. Alright, I got it. Alright, I got it.
I mean, technically it wasn't even a not proud phase, it was just...
Push. Yes, I was gonna pull, but no, that's wrong.
Alright, I got it.
It was just during Malmström's Final Fantasy 13 run last year. He was doing a boss blindfolded and then kind of messed up the buffing a bit,
I'm almost there.
because it's a bit iffy in 13. And he wanted to show the audience that it went wrong again.
So I just shook my head at the audience,
Yes.
and the emote was born. This is the same puzzle that I was talking about earlier. That pops up twice. This is the regular strat. Obviously, we have the unmovable blocks here, which, if you can't tell, are the dark blocks that have the crest thingies on them. The normal dark blocks just take longer to move. And we avoid those most of the time. I think there's only like 3 times in the run where we're actually moving a dark block.
Doing well. I hope you can keep this up.
Okay. This is the last time we're going to be buying from the merchant sheep, because he's about to die.
Rip merchant
Spoilers.
sheet.
Fuck.
Wow. Fucking expletives, come on. Did I just say fucking expletives?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Twice now.
I'm such a hypocrite. The game just randomly was like, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that now. I'm allowed to do that, right? Sure.
Rip merchant sheep.
Yeah, he's gonna die on this stage. There's actually on the next landing, there's a sheep that will tell you, I saw him falling. He was weighed down by all his money that you gave him, you monster. I mean, that's not literally what he says, but that's the implication, I suppose. All right, this puzzle is supposed to kind of
I got it.
teach you to give yourself room at all times.
Alright, I got it.
Because you basically always want like 2 blocks to work with at any time, because that makes you able to like do this, pull back, and then you get a staircase. and it wants you to like be very careful about making sure you have that kind of room to work with at all times. But we just use an energy drink and cheese past most of it. Oop, oop. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. And this, we used to also use this block to cheese past this puzzle, but it was recently figured out that it's faster to actually save this for the boss. So we're going to be doing that. This loses about 10 seconds here and saves about, I think, 15-ish on the boss.
Becoming an old hand at this.
It's crazy seeing these strats and then looking back at the run from like 3 years ago.
All this stuff you're not used to. I mean,
Exactly.
do you remember the old strats?
Most of them, yeah. A lot of them were just stage pushes.
All right, so there's a very short stage here, but it's pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing. Obviously, I do, because it gives you almost no decent ground to work with from the beginning. Well, really none. You don't have any like 2 consecutive blocks on the same level, so you have to improvise a little bit. Well, you would have to if I hadn't done this stage 500 times.
A little more. All right, I got it.
All right, I should be pushing this one off.
All right, I got it.
There we go. Now we have room. And that's the end. Probably the shortest stage in the game. It's either that or the 4-1 where we just stage push it and it's over.
It's one of the shortest stages now, but if you don't know what to do, it can take you quite a long time.
We've made it this far.
I guess the fact that it's like so short makes it look easy at first if you're playing for the first
Yeah.
time.
And then you realize, wait,
Yeah.
the hell do I do? Now everybody's gone except Steve. Hi, Steve. This is Steve.
Steve's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a dentist. That's about all we know about him. Alright, and that was the last of the choices that affect the meter. I actually ended up a little bit to the right. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're not going to watch the ending anyway.
So the question I was waiting for is popping bubble wrap
Ah, we
fun?
didn't get it, huh?
No, we didn't get it.
It's, out of all the questions, it's the one that I have the strongest opinion about, because popping bubble wrap is great. But
is.
unfortunately, the answer on the right, which I always pick whenever I get the question, is what a waste. So yeah. But anyway, here's Shadow of Vincent. So this boss kind of has like intended shortcuts, like right here. You can just go behind the stage, and then there's a spring block here. I need to wait for him to move. And then there's another shortcut coming up, which we used to go up a ways before getting into that shortcut. Oh, I forgot. I thought I was already doing this, but yeah, I need to get on the thing first. Right, okay, so instead what we do now, and this was only figured out really recently, is all you need to do is this. And there we go. And that saves about, I think, about 30 seconds over what we used to do. And it's so simple that we have to think that was the intended way to do it. And we never realized. So, good job, us. Alright. So this used to be a super long boss because of that, and also the fact that we didn't use the block. But we're about to use the block pretty soon. So this is now really short. this is also a pretty lengthy section if you do it normally. I gotta wait here for these to fall and then activate this.
There's no turning back.
That pretty much skips that section.
There's no turning back. All right, I got it. All right, I got it. Whoa.
Get the spring.
There's nowhere to run. All right, I got it. There's nowhere to run. Always watching you.
And it's done. Oh hey, I got the long load screen. For some reason, this sometimes takes longer. It's weird. We don't really know why. It seems to be random. Maybe it's based on where the boss is or something. We don't really know.
Congratulations on such splendid work. The spiral corridor's twists did not confound you.
All right, 2 more nights to go. One is very short, one is very long.
If you have a donation, go ahead.
Alright, we got a $63 donation from Flubberworm4. Cannot unhear age now. Thanks, Mrzwanzig. Mrzwanzig not proud. And I would like to announce that thanks to that donation, the incentive for the obelisk run has been met.
All right.
So that's happening.
Thank you very much, Flubber, and everybody else who donated toward that. So once this run finishes, I'll just exit out of the game real quick, and then we can do obelisk, or try to do obelisk. Sad music.
Sad because he's alone today.
He pretty much finally got up the nerve to tell the Catherine he's cheating on his girlfriend with that, like, maybe we shouldn't do this, and then she punched him a lot. Alright. And she didn't take that very well. So now we're gonna be chased by Catherine. And the twist here is that we have the other Catherine with us, and we have a fun little escort mission. Yay! Also, she looks really creepy. With camera, please. All right. Okay, won't show her. Whatever. Okay. I would have liked to actually show you what she looks like. 'Cause it's quite creepy, but I guess the camera doesn't want to. I'm not gonna mess up the stage again by doing that, like I did with the Moral Beast. Okay, so. So Catherine is pretty much just following us of her own volition, and her AI isn't particularly great, but it's good enough. Okay, I need this. Oh, that messes up everything. Hang on. What do I even do here? I had a strat for this, didn't I? Did I? I'm sure I did. I'm completely blanking on this right now.
Take the red block.
Oh, whatever. I'll just undo to where it isn't cracked. There. Easy. That's how we do it. It's definitely not what I normally do. Alright. Catherine's pretty good at following you as long as you just leave her a good path to go up. Oh god. Oh, she's dead. Yeah, because I messed up at the start. This normally doesn't happen because she's normally really far behind you. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit embarrassing. Alright. Let's try that again. I think at the practice run I did the other day, this was also the only stage where I died, and you really should never die here, but I guess I'm bad at this now.
At least you didn't die at the very end or something.
Yeah, it could have been worse, I suppose.
At the very end, you kind of have to go slower so she can follow up.
Yeah. See, this time it didn't crack the one I needed. What was my strat for that? Completely forgot, apparently.
I think it was probably just undo. It's not quite.
It's definitely not
You
that.
can take the block on the right.
Anyway, so yeah, she has lightning bolts. But they're pretty much, now that I'm not messing the stage up, they're not really going to hit Catherine because she's so far behind me, which is great. because you can tell her to stop, which I was trying to do there, but I was too late the other time. And that's about the extent of the control you have over her. And her AI gets kind of wonky when she's close to you, but as long as she's just far away from you, which she should be if you're going fast, then she's pretty good at just, you know, getting up by herself. And we're almost at the end now, and I actually need to you stop there for a bit. Cracked another block that I needed, of course. Alright, so I'm gonna wait here now, because if you go too far, then the stage will actually just completely collapse with her on it, and this probably happened to a lot of casual players. Like right here, okay, everything below just fell off, and if I go any sooner than that, she dies. Alright, we got there. It's to prevent you from just, you know, going on ahead without her, which would defeat the purpose of the stage, but it's still kind of annoying, because you can't really know that on your first playthrough.
Congratulations. That was a splendid
All right.
climb. The cathedral was not your final resting place.
Now there's lots and lots of cutscenes, because now we kind of figure out what is actually going on in the story. Also, I get to save, which I don't want to. Thank you. Which is essentially the villain's plan is to kill dudes who are in relationships where they're not actually wanting to have children, because that's bad for the human race or something like that. And then Vincent's like, 1v1 me. We'll finish this, and the next night there'll be no other sheep. It's just me versus the bartender. Spoilers, it's the bartender. Also, the other Catherine, like the one that was chasing me earlier, that was just a dream. That wasn't actually Catherine, but the actual Catherine is in fact a demon. So, a succubus specifically. Da, da, da. This is all getting explained in all of these cutscenes that I'm just skipping the hell out of.
Yeah, this game is actually pretty long if you play it casually and you watch all the cutscenes and stuff.
I mean, there's lots of stuff that you can do in the bar. You can talk to all these people, you can play this arcade game, which is hard.
Why is that not your donation incentive?
What, do all 128 stages of Rapunzel?
Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
it is.
That would make me go about 3 hours over estimate, probably. Alright, so final night, the Imperio. And this is where runs go to die. Because most of the RNG in this run so far has been to the bosses. Really, pretty much all of it, aside from a few sheep here and there, which can be kind of random. But now we actually get RNG blocks, and it's great. This stage, though, I did say we were going to do the stage push 3 times, and I've only done it twice. So by process of elimination, we're going to do it one more time, and it's right here.
This is the best stage to do it as well.
It's great.
You'll see why in a bit.
Setting up the stage push here is actually a little bit involved, but it's still faster to do this. Goodbye. And now we just wait. And while I wait, I like to do this. Because we get to... Oh, we got the double. We got the double sheep. Yes. Sometimes there's 2 of these. Most of the time it's only 1. And they're just having a grand old time on that trampoline. They apparently have no idea how to get up the stage. And luckily, I don't need to do anything right here, so you can just watch them have fun. Whee!
It's gonna be the last fun. Spoilers.
Yeah, oh, there they go. Okay. Rip those guys. At least they had a fun final few moments. Now I need to actually do a bit of stuff to make sure that stuff doesn't stick to the stage. Just keeps falling past. How many was that? 3, 4. 5. I need to keep pushing it forward so it actually targets there. And there we go. All right. So, I mentioned earlier that I run FF9, right? I did that last year. You say it was great, but it's become a bit of a tradition for any other game I run to have a split that is called literally FF9. It's an inside joke. FF9 has a lot of RNG, so any game that I run, I'll just call whatever split has the most RNG literally FF9. And for this game, it's this one, because monster blocks move by themselves, which is fun, because it messes up all of your strats. But, pop quiz, what do FF13 and Catherine have in common? Well, for one, I run both of them, and I just realized I'm also second place on both of them, so actually quite a bit. But what the main thing that is relevant right now that they have in common is camera tricking. So, I said that monster blocks move by themselves, and they, at one point, I sort of realized, like a month or two ago, hey, they never seem to do that even though they're spawned when they're still, like, far away from you. That's kind of nice. I wonder what actually makes that happen. Is it your proximity to them, or is it them being on camera? Because if it's the camera, we can influence this. And it turns out that, in fact, monster blocks do not move when they're not on camera. So what I'm about to do is just pull the camera down. And this helps out a little bit with mitigating some of the RNG in this level. Playing like this is a little bit awkward if you look at my hands. I have to claw it in kind of a weird way. Alright, here I'm going to stop doing it, because these can actually move in beneficial ways sometimes. Alright, alright, okay, that works.
Alright, I got it. A little more.
This part especially, there's a monster block up there, you can't see it, which is the point. But if it moves at all, you really pretty much have to undo that one. So it helps out a lot with this stage. That was good. Nothing really messed me up there. So shoutouts to FF13 for making me think of that. Because it's a thing in 13 where you have to dodge enemies, and some dodges, if the enemies aren't on the screen, they won't properly react to you. So it makes some dodges a lot easier to just pull the camera down.
You survived. For a guy running around in his...
Oh, he said I was pretty quick. Thank you. So these questions directly determine the ending. The one I had earlier doesn't actually affect anything at all. It's the least relevant question in the game, even though it seems it would be really relevant, because it asks you, would you do anything, or would you risk anything for your partner or something like that? But no, that's actually completely irrelevant, apparently. I'm going to go for the freedom ending. Partially because I think it actually gives you the best pie chart on the last question. And also just because I like the freedom endings. But again, we're not going to see it, because as soon as I'm done, I'm going to quit out of the game and do Obelisk.
Scan.
Do you want to explain a bit about Obelisk before we add the bosses?
I'll explain it more when we get there. Part of it is kind of similar to this stage, though, because it's split into 2 towers. which Obelisk will also do if I get there. Mystery blocks, I haven't really talked much about them. They're the ones with the curtains. They can turn into most other types of blocks. They can't be bombs, although in Obelisk they can, so that's going to be fun. But I basically have to treat them as if they're everything at once. So when I move on to one, oh god, it did that thing. Might have to just, yeah, I'm just going to use the book. Alright. I don't want to use that, but sometimes he does that and he gets in the way. But yeah, just in case mystery blocks are trap blocks, I have to do this, because otherwise I would die if it's a trap block. And if it's an ice block, then I also need to make sure I don't like get onto it near an edge, or I might slide off the edge. So yeah. Really the worst thing they can do in this is become crack blocks sometimes, because there are some that you count on to use more than twice, and crack blocks you can only get on twice before they break. There's a little skip here, which... Okay, I actually got it that time. For some reason I've not been getting this sometimes. I don't really know why, but sometimes it just skips to the end here instead of spawning another layer in between. And it did that in my PB where it just spawned that part anyway. With this strat it usually skips it. I think it's just a matter of going fast enough. I don't know. The way Catherine spawns in stages is kind of Byzantine. It's pretty complicated, and the next stage is a fine example of that. Because there is a very particular strat to make sure that it doesn't completely screw up the stage. I'm not going to have the book now because I had to use it on that other sheep. So the start of this is going to be interesting. Do you wish for the excitement of chaos? No. The next question, somebody remind me to pull left, please. This is the one time I need to actually pull left. Otherwise I get an extra question. Alright. 3 stages to go. There's a couple of sheep here at the start, and normally I just use the book so I don't have to deal with them because they can get in the way. But we don't have that, so let's see. Alright. They're still going to get in the way. Or are they? No. Doesn't seem like they want to get in the way. Okay, well, that works. That's probably faster then, because I didn't have to stop to use the book. Works for me.
Good RNG for one.
Honestly, I haven't really been able to complain about the RNG in this run. Most of the mess-ups are in 9. Alright, so there's an unintentional undo here. Or an intentional undo. What am I doing? That was unintentional. But you undo there, and for some reason it prevents something really dumb from happening, and I'm not very good at explaining why it happens, but basically if you just do this stage as fast as possible, then a lot of the time the end of the stage will spawn in a way that is not intended by the game, and it'll just be a horrible checkerboard pattern that is really stupid to try to climb, and for some reason doing that prevents it, so yay. I'll point it out when we get to the part. More sheep here. These always do the same thing, except the other one isn't there, which I've had happen once before. Okay. I'm fine with the other sheep not showing up, because sometimes they climb up and then ruin your time at the end of the stage. So this part would like spawn in a like really stupid pattern if I hadn't done that one thing. Okay, cool. The sheep aren't there, so I can actually go on this side. Because sometimes they go up and then trigger that bomb down there, and it explodes that block, and it's terrible. But we're all good. Alright, that's the end of the stage.
got it. All right, I got it. Just a little more. I made it!
All right, 2 stages to go, and both of them are bosses. Now we have the bartender, aka Thomas Mutton. He might be the hardest stage in the
You're
game.
still alive. It's thrilling.
Also, nobody's reminding me, but I'm gonna pull left now. Because what I've done basically at this point is I've rejected both Catherines, and then now it asks me, okay, do you just want to be alone then, I guess? And if I say no, then it's like, okay, you got to make some kind of decision here. So it asks you an extra question. And it basically forces you to choose between the Catherines. And I've done this in runs, and it just wastes like 5 seconds because you have to answer another question.
You're saying we had good RNG until now, but it might change now.
Oh boy. I'm sure it will. If not in the run, then in Aldusk. All right. So this guy looks like the Shadow of Vincent boss doesn't really chase you so much as he just tries to kill you. He's pretty good at it. Also laughing. Also changing the blocks. Now he's gonna shoot me. But more importantly, shooting the blocks. Because getting out of the way yourself is pretty easy, but if he destroys a block that you need, it can be kind of bad. At the start, it's not really random, because you just do the same things, and you should, if you're moving fast enough, always hit the same things. But since he can either shoot 2 or 3 times, from here on it starts just being variable. Okay, so now we're on the easy part. This is pretty simple, and for some reason, this part repeats 3 times. Now we get the same part again. He's gonna try to shoot me. Make sure it's not a block that I need.
I think what happened to me in casual once was he destroyed parts of the stage by shooting at the block and everything around collapsed.
Yeah, good times. He likes to do that. All right. That goes boom. Oh, shoot this one. Oh, he didn't shoot that one. That actually makes it faster if he shoots that one. Oh dear, don't hit me. Alright, we're almost at the end. At the end here, it, can I do this? No. Alright. It wants you to pick up that bell in the middle, which is a power-up that we've never used, but, it turns all the blocks into normal blocks, and since the, exit is on top of dark hole blocks, it basically wants you to do that so that the blocks become normal, but you don't need to. You can just push the dark hole blocks out of the way. Dark hole blocks, if you can't tell, they kill you when you get on them.
Incredible. You beat him.
Alright. 1 stage to go, and this is my favorite stage in the game. Final boss, Dumazid, the god form of the bartender. He's mad. This makes it war. No questions. We're done with that. This is a pretty fun mechanic that's going to come in about 1/3 of the way-ish through the stage. I'll explain it when it happens. All right. Nice music here.
It's the best music in the game, I'd say.
Yeah, that's good. It's some kind of Chopin remix music. It's great. Anyway, so the start of the stage is pretty much just get spring block, use spring block. Pretty basic. He doesn't really do much. He has a Mrzwanzig beam. He can, if you go too slow, he'll just fire a laser beam at all the blocks and destroy them, and you with them if you're still down there, and yell out Mrzwanzig beam. It's great. Unfortunately, it never happens because I go too fast. Alright, and about here, he's going to start doing the curse. So what this does is, from now on, whenever I'm cursed, and I'll be reapplying this constantly, whenever I pull a block, not push, only pull, a certain set of blocks is going to change. As you can see, they're now constantly changing. But I know that this one right here is going to be a spring right now. There we go, it jumped me up. So, am I clairvoyant? No, it's just not random. They're always the same blocks that change, and the block cycles are also consistent. So it goes like trap block, ice block, monster block, spring. So as long as he keeps me cursed, which he should if I go fast enough, then I'm going to do the camera trick here again just in case of monster blocks moving, because they can actually do that. Let's get the checkpoint, why not? So this is why I like this stage, because it makes me look really smart. Alright, this here it might run out if I'm going slow, but it should be fine. Right. Oh, wow, I didn't pay attention, and that actually I pulled that one too much, apparently. But it's fine. We got up there anyway. This is not what I should do. Whatever. We're almost at the end anyway. Not quite doing the strat correctly here, but it's fine. Let's actually make him curse me by undoing, because I need it here. Alright, thank you. Need another spring here. And there we go, okay. And the rest of the stage is pretty easy. He's also dropping meteors, but whatever. Any good final boss has meteor attacks, right? I don't know why the rest of the stage is this easy, but it is. Get ready on time. It should be when I reach step number 148, but I'll call it out. And time. Alright, I'm gonna quit out of the game now. What's that time on that? Alright.
Still sub 130.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna re-enter the game here. I timed this out the other day. It's faster to do this than just skip all the ending cutscenes to get back to the menu. Still takes a while because you have to sit through all the logos, unfortunately. So now we're going to do Obelisk. Thank you all for donating for this, and I will make my best attempt to beat this. It's going to be one attempt. If I fail, so be it. I do this about half the time. It's extremely difficult and extremely random because, so you know, Imperio is the worst stage because it has monster blocks and mystery blocks, right? So this place also has monster blocks and mystery blocks, and the stages are random layouts to begin with. They have patterns, but since they drop in random sequence, it is more or less random what you have to work with. All right. Get into this, single. Skip this little intro. I had to actually unlock this on this PS3 because it wasn't on here. We don't need a timer for this, just in case you're wondering. There's an in-game timer. It's fine. All right. Here we go. This is about 200 and a bit steps. So usually it takes me about 13-ish minutes to beat this when I do. It can be done a lot faster, but I'm not that great at it. Alright. My commentary for this is going to consist of a lot of me saying the word alright. Just fair warning. Because I kind of need to focus on what I'm doing, and that's kind of my go-to word when I'm focusing. So I'm going to avoid... Alright, this works, kind of. Oh. It works. It's fine. I'm going to avoid stepping on bomb blocks as much as possible, because I want to keep the integrity of this tower intact as much as I can, which will become really difficult later on, but we're fine for now. The first half of the stage I should pretty much be able to clear consistently, unless I massively mess up somewhere. Also, yeah, new record. You're going to be hearing that every step. For some reason, they thought that was necessary. I don't know. So now mystery blocks start appearing, and as I alluded to during the run, unlike in the story mode, they can actually be bombs, and mystery blocks turning into bombs is pretty much the worst thing that happens in Obelisk. There's also monster blocks later on. We'll be hitting those in the second half. Alright, let's do this, I guess. Also, this stage has the best music. It's great. Oh. Should have done that a little bit differently, I think. Hang on. See, that's what I meant about the freaking bombs. Oh god, this is bad. This is already bad. Alright, we can fix this. Just push out. When in doubt, push the stage out. Okay, we're fine. We're fine-ish. What are we gonna do here? Do this, maybe? Like, all of this is improv, if you can't tell, because it's all random. Oh, yep. See, I need to be careful about that, because if that's another ice block, then I would just die as soon as I step on that. It would drop me off the edge. I don't want to step on that bomb. Alright. This pattern's kind of funky. Pretty much have a solution that I use for that every time. Courtesy of some Japanese runner who I watched do this in like 8 minutes. Do that. Is this in time? Yeah, it is. Okay, fine. Good. Okay. This is annoying. That dropped part of the stage. What am I going to do now? I can't really go down very well anymore. This is problematic, actually. I'm going to go down here. Drop this all down a bit. I pretty much need to get on this bomb. Don't really have much of a choice. Alright, let's see what this does to the stage. Okay, that's fine. Okay. We're more bomb blocks. Hello. Monster blocks scare me. These are what the monster blocks look like. Like all the boxes have got different different models in Babel for some reason. These are the monster blocks, and they are going to make my life a living hell right about now.
New record. New record.
One of the issues in this is also you get like 2 parts of a tower.
Yeah, that's coming up soon.
New record. New record.
Right after this bit. This is kind of the calm before the storm bit. This isn't too bad. Oh, hello. They moved in sync. That was beautiful. Except it was not really helpful. Do this, I guess. I don't want to get on that other monster block because it might move.
New record. New record. New record. New record. New record. New record.
Don't move. Alright.
New record.
Alright, okay, so here. Monster blocks, please. For the love of God. This stage. It's certainly a stage.
New record. New record.
So now we have 2 towers, and
The problem with this is because you always like collapse parts of the tower when you want to go further. Both towers spawn like at the same time, but at some point one of the towers is way bigger than the other, so the blocks just stop spawning for the one tower you're on. So you have to switch over.
yeah, eventually I might have to switch over, depending on how much I need to collapse. Oh God, that's terrible. That's like the worst thing you could have given me right there. Well, I'll just do this. It's fine.
New record. New record.
Let's see. All right, the tower's stacking up. This one isn't much shorter than the other one yet. It's fine for now. I don't really have to cross over. If I don't need to collapse it too much, I should be fine. Oh, we're already at this part. Oh, right. That's actually good. There's a spring here, actually.
New record. To 140.
And this is a set of fun little mystery blocks. If any of these become bombs, I'm not going to be happy. I'm actually going to cross over here. Yeah. That wasn't looking very friendly. Oh, well. Aha. Yeah. Well, that just happened. This is what I mean about this stage being a troll. Don't really have much of a choice here. Alright, okay, we're still alive for now. Can I get back to the other side? I'm not even sure because this is a cracked block. Oh boy, those bombs really messed me up there. Alright, this is fine. Yes, okay, this is fine. Okay, we're still in there. Okay, another spring. I guess I can try to use that. Oh, or not. Just kill all of these. If I haven't really mentioned this, but bomb blocks do, or monster blocks do die when you step on them, and they are effectually just normal blocks. Yay, more crack blocks. Okay, this is fine. We got to do this part of the stage twice because it was so fun the first time. Just spawned it again. Music is so chill.
I think it has to be more monster blocks being trolls.
We're doing pretty well so far. Like, for this being Obelisk. Might look like I'm struggling a lot, but don't worry, this is normal. This is how it's every time I do this. Yeah, just get rid of this. When in doubt, just get everything to one side, and then you'll usually have some room to work with. What do I want to do here? I think I want to do this, actually. Yeah, that works nicely. Although, oh, everything's stacked on top of that. I need to collapse that because it's not going to give me anything otherwise. Let's just get all that down a bit. Alright. That's much better. Hey, more bombs. Hi. How are you? Oh god. I'm tearing up from focusing too much. Oh. I kind of screwed myself while doing that. Oh dear. This is not good. This is quite the opposite of good. I'm try to save this. Can I still climb up there? Oh, can actually. Yeah. Just do this. Alright. Still in there. Still in there.
New record.
Oh, oh, what are you doing, Vincent?
New record.
All of you to die. Need to cross over to the other side again. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
During practice, you were pretty much like, this monster block, I will kill your entire family.
Yep, I definitely did say that. Can confirm. I was mad.
New record.
We're just killing all the monster blocks.
New record.
But don't worry, they're in monster block heaven.
New record.
There is no monster block heaven. What are you talking about?
New record.
Well, monster block hell.
Thank you. That's what we are in right now. Yeah, sure, that works. We're getting pretty close. Like, at this point, it probably should be a clear. We're on level 9 now. When it gets to level 10, I've basically won. Because level 10 is quite easy.
New record.
Do this, I guess? Level 9 is kind of like reminiscent of the start of the stage, just a lot less forgiving. But there's not as much, like, there's no monster blocks here. Just some annoying bomb blocks that I'm going to try to not step on as much as possible, and mystery blocks here and there. Get this down a little bit. Something like this. That might not have been a good move. We'll work with it.
New record.
It's fine.
New record. New record. New
Goodbye. I don't need you.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. 200 steps. Oh my god. So high up. It should start spawning the exit soon, which is what I always say, and then it takes a while. No, I can't go down there. Alright, what am I gonna do then? I'll use you.
New record. New record. New record. New record. New record.
It's actually a pretty slow clear. I've done it in under 13 minutes before. Oh dear. Bit annoying.
New record. New record.
Alright, it's spawning the exit now. We're good. We're good. We're good.
I haven't been this excited in a
Except I don't want to get on that. I don't want to get on the bomb now. That would be bad. Actually, could I do this? I'm thinking if I want to collapse that. I don't think I do. I don't want to mess up this close to the end.
New record.
Let's do this. Maybe? Oh god, I probably missed this. Oh no, it's fine. We still have room. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe. Don't panic. Nobody panic. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. We're good.
New record.
We are good.
New record. New record.
All right. Got the
New
clear.
record. New record. New record.
And now it's going to make me do this for a while, because it seems to be kind of random
New record.
when it actually gets the exit. I said it spawned the exit, but really it just spawned level 10, which is trivial, as you can see.
New
All right, it's going to keep making me do this. Sure, we're just gonna do like 300 steps. Okay, sure. We don't have any other games to run, do we?
No.
We're not already like significantly past the estimate with this incentive. All right. Sub 15 though. That's something, I guess. I'm just happy I cleared it, really.
It was a good clear in the end still.
All right.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Sub 13.
All
Well
right.
done.
So that was Catherine. I hope you all enjoyed that. And me almost losing my mind over Obelisk. That was fun. All right. That's me done, I think. So enjoy the rest of the marathon. I'm out.
The third stage is taken from.
Alrighty then. I think you can hear me right now. I'm not sure, as I can't hear myself. Testing, testing, testing.